Right, so recently on this channel, it feels like we've had our fair share of wedding drama, and today's video is no different. Except the difference is, in the last video, we spoke about wedding photography drama. In this video, we're talking about wedding dress drama. Also, before we get any further, I do just want to apologize if the quality looks weird, because I'm having to use my phone to record this. I just completely forgot to charge my camera, and I need to film this video, and it'll take ages to charge, so I'm using my phone. And last time I did that, people said the quality was alright, but if you notice a difference, I apologize. So there's two main people you need to be aware of in this situation. The first one being Olivia Culpo with 5.5 million Instagram followers. I would be lying if I sat here and said that I know much about Olivia Culpo. From what I can tell from the quick Google I did, she is like a fashion influencer who also won I think Miss USA and Miss Universe. I think she's also married to like a really famous American footballer. I know nothing about American football, but from what I can tell, that is true. And the second person you need to be aware of is this TikToker right here called GownEyedGirl with 1.2 million followers. If we take a look at her page, she does a lot of wedding content. As we can see here, she did the European Bridal Fashion Week. She also gives like tips on wedding dresses and other stuff. She does a lot of content about weddings, clearly. And one video that she uploaded recently, which has blew up, is actually her most recent video. As we can see, it's got 5 million views, where she actually takes a look at Olivia Culpo's wedding dress. This isn't abnormal for her content. She has made many videos taking a look at like celebrity or influencer like wedding dresses and gives her thoughts. And I guess the reason why Olivia Culpo's wedding dress was like such a big topic to a lot of people, I mean, we can see the dress right here on screen. A lot of people were already leaving their comments about this, and I guess it was also because it was announced by Vogue exclusively, so it was like this big deal. When you're doing that, you are kind of just opening yourself up to people giving their thoughts on the wedding dress, clearly. And straight away, I guess people weren't impressed. Like, we've got comments here saying, I usually love her style. I wish there would have been a little more of something on this dress though. Am I the only one? Modest doesn't mean to be boring. Take Paris and Nikki Hilton's gowns, for example. High neckline, long sleeve, and the lace detailing is so elegant. Timeless and absolutely stunning. This is just blah. And yeah, clearly, as we can see, there were some people that didn't like it. There were also people that did like it. There's people leaving comments saying that did like it. And GownEyedGirl actually made a video talking about the things she dislikes about the dress, which isn't specifically about the dress, like the physical dress. It's more like the message behind it, she says.
I have been a bridal creator for 4 years now, and I have never said this before, but I do not like this wedding dress. Olivia Culpo just got married, and this is a great example of how fashion is so much more than just what you see on the surface. When you see fashion, especially wedding dresses discussed on social media, you usually just end up hearing about whether or not the person talking likes the way that it looks, which is extremely subjective. Like this dress, for example, if I were to just look at the dress, I would see a beautiful bride in a beautiful, simple, elegant dress. If we stopped there at just the way the dress looks, we'd really have nothing to say.
Yeah, so I think that is some important context this situation, right? She hasn't just made a video, saw a dress that she doesn't like on someone and made a video being like, oh, that dress is so ugly. Because clearly if she did that, it would be pretty mean-spirited, wouldn't it? You shouldn't just be like going at people for something that they wear. But like I said, she gives her thought on the situation, specifically about the reasons behind the dress.
Two things. First of all, she says, I didn't want to exude sex in any way. The second thing she says is she wanted the dress to be as serious as she takes the covenant of marriage. Now listen, there is nothing wrong with wanting a modest wedding dress or just modest attire in general. But the way that she was talking about this went beyond just wanting something modest for herself and pushing this idea of what she thinks all brides should look like.
Okay, so apparently the way that she was talking about this wasn't just the fact that this is what she wanted to wear, but was what everyone should wear. In fact, I want to actually find the exact quote. Let's have a look. Okay, so I'm looking at the Vogue article now. I can't see anything specifically insinuating that this should be the thing that most people should do at their wedding. From what I can tell, I might be looking at the wrong article here. She is just saying like, this is what she wanted to do, and this was the reason why she did it. But maybe it's to do with the fact that she basically said the reason why she wanted her dress to be like this is because a wedding is a serious thing, and she wanted her dress to be as serious as the wedding itself. So maybe to some people that might come across as, if you don't wear a dress like this, you're not taking your wedding seriously.
What you wear on your wedding day has almost nothing to do with whether or not you're gonna have a long and happy marriage.
Yeah, I mean, that's very obvious, right? On your wedding day, you can wear what you think looks nice. It has nothing to do with how serious you actually take marriage as a whole.
So to treat this as if like this is a sexless design is really odd to me, because both it is your choice if you do not want to exude sex in this gown, but also if people want to sexualize you, it is not your fault if they do that. Her two statements next to each other are a very eloquent way of saying that you are asking for whatever you are dressed as, which is an extremely harmful way of thinking.
Yeah, I mean, I definitely do get a point here, right? That could definitely be harmful for people if they took what Olivia has said in her article and being like, oh, is that true? Okay, right, I'm gonna have my mindset be like that.
I just think it's so weird how much she talks about coverage, especially as someone who in her day-to-day life is not exactly a modest dresser. She even says that her husband thinks she's the most beautiful when she's timeless, covered, and elegant. I just think the usage of the word covered is so icky because you are not covered in day-to-day life. And also, why is he thinking that you're the most beautiful when you're covered? That's such an odd thing.
Okay, so we get her thoughts on the dress. It's not specifically about the dress itself, it's more the message behind it and how it could be harmful. Now, you would think the situation ends here, but it doesn't. Because Olivia herself actually commented on this video saying, wow, what an absolutely evil person you are. I hope no one ever tears you apart in this way because it's extremely hurtful. I love this dress and it was everything I ever wanted and more. And then on top of that, Olivia's husband, Christian McCaffrey, I'm sorry if I pronounced that wrong, he also commented on this video saying, wow, what an evil thing to post. I hope you can find joy and peace in the world, the way my beautiful wife does. And look, I can see the fact that if they saw this video, they probably wouldn't be a big fan of it, right? And they would disagree with a lot of what's being said. But to go as far and say that she's an evil person for this video is a bit wild to me, mainly because it wasn't a video just looking at a dress and tearing into it and like calling it ugly for no reason at all, right? The main part of the video, 99% of the video, isn't even really talking about the dress itself. It's more talking about the message and why she disagrees with it. And it's not like she's calling her names in a video and like insulting her and whatnot. It is just kind of talking about the message. And at the end of the day, you would assume that they would probably expect some criticism of the dress, mainly because obviously it was like this big Vogue article. She made it so it was exclusively announced on Vogue, you know, like a big fashion platform. I just don't think the video we watched screams evil in any way, shape or form. Like I said, it'd be very different. And if there is people out there that are just insulting Olivia for this and calling her names, obviously that would be evil, right? That would be mean-spirited. And to be honest, leaving comments like this is probably going to do the opposite of what Olivia and Christian would want in this situation, because now they've commented, people are talking about it more and talking about this reaction. In fact, there's a video here with how many views? Let's have a look. This one in particular has 1.2 million views. There are countless other videos with over 1 million views talking about this.
This Olivia Culpo situation is wild because basically this content creator, GownEyedGirl, she talked about the dress and she was like, I just personally didn't like it. And also, in her own Vogue interview or whatever, she was like, I wanted to be modest. I wanted to be covered up. That's what you should do on your wedding day. She was like, that's kind of weird, right? So then as Cora points out, she and her husband comment and say that this creator is an absolutely evil person. And there's two things here, right? The first one is that in Olivia's comment, wow, what an absolutely evil person you are. I hope no one ever tears you apart in this way because it's extremely hurtful. You just did. You just tore her apart in that way, in a hurtful way, with the first sentence.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, the first sentence definitely seems like a bit of an overreaction. It seems to make the situation a lot more serious than what the actual original video was like. And yeah, I just don't think it was maybe the best response in the world. So like I said before, I also do get how Olivia would maybe watch a video like this and not like it, right? And I can also see how it might be like hurtful in a way, right? If someone's saying that they don't like your wedding dress, which again, she really wasn't saying that, it was more the message, but still, you can see why it would maybe be a bit hurtful. It just seems like this is a big overreaction. You never know. Maybe it was literally straight after she watched the video and, you know, she got like annoyed about it, tensions are kind of high, and she just straight away went on the keyboard and started typing and maybe regretted it afterwards. Who knows?
And then also for her husband to say the same thing, what an evil thing to post online. Which first of all is so embarrassing because, you know, they were like at home brainstorming this and like the words that they were going to use, which is like so cringe. Secondly, it doesn't help because in this video, the creator was basically talking about how her modest high neck dress and what she was saying about how it's best to be covered up and modest was giving conservative agenda. And then here they are with their comments, Satan really compelled you to do that TikTok. What an evil thing to do. Anyway, I think the only course of action from here, GownEyedGirl has to say, I am so sorry. You are right. In all of your trad wife wisdom, you knew that Satan compelled me to make this evil, 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 unholy TikTok. Like, what the fuck? This is just so insane. Not to mention, GownEyedGirl has over 1 million followers. Yeah, she's probably also seen awful stuff about herself online. And what I find crazy is that like myself and other creators, like, you know, if we talk about celebrities, the celebrity's always like, imagine if you had to hear hurtful things about yourself. I have. And you know what I do? I open my mouth and I eat all of the digital shit because that's what's expected of creators. You just go, sure, All right, say what you want. Freedom of whatever on the internet, your opinion, etc.
Yeah, so you can kind of get an idea from this video what the public reaction has been. We've even got comments on this video saying more stuff along the same lines. I want to be so far removed from reality that someone not liking my wedding dress is the most evil thing I've ever encountered sounds nice. Arguing online on your honeymoon. I think it's wild to have your wedding in Vogue and expect no one to comment on it. Yeah, that is also like a thing that was mentioned before. If it was exclusively announced on Vogue, which is a big fashion platform, probably the biggest fashion platform to the best of my knowledge, like, people are going to criticize, clearly. Now, actually, I was going to leave the video there because I didn't think anything else happened after this, but I have just went over to Instagram and seen that GownEyedGirl has actually responded to these comments from Olivia and her husband. Or specifically to her husband, because I can't actually see the comment from Olivia anymore, so I wonder if it's been deleted or I just can't find it. But she did respond to Christian and said, "So what's evil is pointing out the potential internalized misogyny behind her reasoning. Your, in my opinion, patriarchal comment and a racist / homophobic / fatphobic history of the designers she worked with." Yeah, so this dress, I believe, was actually created by Dolce & Gabbana, and in the original video, she goes in to talk about the history of Dolce & Gabbana.
Like Chanel, Dior, even like Louis Vuitton. Nope, you went with Dolce & Gabbana, who is not someone who's known for modesty and also is kind of one of the worst people ever. Stefano and Dolce & Gabbana in general have participated in every ism and phobia that you can think of. From this super racist campaign that they doubled down on, to saying that gay people should like not be allowed to adopt and calling IVF children synthetic, randomly calling Selena Gomez ugly, these super racist earrings that they wore down their runway in 2013. In fact, there's like so many things that they've done. There's a comprehensive timeline of every offensive comment that they've ever made. But honestly, they probably made more since then because this is an older article.
Yeah, so that clip is what just referenced it in that comment, some horrific stuff that's happened previously with Dolce & Gabbana that I wasn't even aware of. Now, interestingly, as I'm looking at this, the comments on Instagram are completely different to the ones on TikTok. On TikTok, more people were on GownEyedGirl's side. On Instagram, she's getting like a lot of backlash on this post. I would love to know your opinion in the comment section down below on everything that we spoke about in today's video. If there's a side that you're on, if there's not a side that you're on, just any opinions at all. And yeah, I'm gonna leave the video there. And if you enjoyed the video, please do leave a like on it, subscribe if you are new. And until the next one, I'll see you guys in a bit. All right, goodbye.